Welcome to Jazz Time. JazzTime.com is an online store that buys, sells, trades authentic luxury watches. We make these videos so our customers can easily choose the best watch for themselves in the comfort of their own home. If you would like to know the price, simply click on the link in the description below. If you enjoy our videos, we'd greatly appreciate it if you would buy a watch at JazzTime.com. Today, I'm going to be reviewing the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Self-Winding Chronograph 38mm Rose Gold reference 26315OR.OO.1256OR.01. I'm going to unwrap this watch right here live on YouTube, talk to you guys about the bezel, the dial, the case, the bracelet, the movement, try it on, and give you my thoughts. So let's start. First, we need to get rid of this factory plastic here, or factory wrapping. So I'm going to do it live here on YouTube. This watch is still brand new. Most dealers or ADs do not give this watch brand new with all the stickers, and we don't either. We usually have to take off these the wrapping when it comes from the AD, and I have to take it off anyways to take some pictures of it and do this video. Otherwise the video will have wrapping all over it. So here we go, taking off the top part, not the easiest, and boom, factory plastic, here we go. Some people ask me, they say, oh, can you sell it with the plastic? And like, not really. I mean, do you unwrap the plastic from your BMW when you buy it from the authorized dealer? Probably not, right? I mean, do you plan to wear the plastic when you wear the watch? Probably not, right? So why do you need the plastic on it? So you can be the first person to take it off? I guess. I kind of get where that's going. Makes a little bit of sense to me. Okay, taking most of it off. I guess I should take this back of it off. Might as well, right? Since we're already doing it. Okay, so there's one more piece in the back. Pulling that sucker off. I'm not sure who would wear it with plastic anyways. So, okay, and then bam! So is now the watch used? Of course not. It's just missing stickers. And you know what? ADs sell it to you without the stickers anyway, so don't trip, alright? It doesn't have stickers. Does your watch come with stickers? No. But you do get the watch, so that's the good part. Okay, now let's begin. As I said, this watch is 38mm. That's from my thumb to my index finger. Now they make this watch, Rose Gold Chrono Royal Oaks, that is, also in 41mm. So they make it in 38 and 41. They also make a few other sizes, but basically for men, if you wanted a chrono, you would be needing to either wear it in 38 or 41. I think they also make it in like 37. I don't know. Anyways, they make it in a few other sizes, I believe. But for men, you'd be wearing it in 38 or 41. Okay, that's the thickness. A thumb to my index finger. And I'm going to go into why I think 38 is a more desirable choice than the current 41 when I get to the end of the video. Now I want to talk to you about the thickness. That would be from my thumb to my index finger, which is 11mm. Very, very comfortable size. Now, if by comparison, 11mm, a Datejust is 12mm, and a Royal Oak Offshore is around 14.8 or 14 point something like that. So it's a lot thinner, makes it a lot more comfortable to wear this watch. Okay, it still has a water resistance of 50 meters. Not that you're probably gonna dive that deep with it. Anyhow. The case is 18 karat pink gold. They call it pink gold. You can call it rose gold. You can call it, I don't know, pink, rose. Anyhow, it has a mixture of bronze in it, which gives it that pink or rose color. Okay, it of course has a glare-proof sapphire crystal and a screw-down crown. So when I turn it like this, you can still read the time. You see, if the glass wasn't glare-proof, you wouldn't be able to read it. That's pretty standard, though. Okay, so let's move on. Now the dial, they only make this dial in one configuration, the 38mm that is. It's a silver toned dial. Now to me it actually kind of looks white to me. I think most people will just say, you know, it's white. I mean, I'm not sure I call it silver, but you know, they call it silver, so we'll go by that. It has a grand tapestry pattern. That's those little waffle designs inside. The Royal Oaks all have this. They use the grand tapestry, whereas the Royal Oak offshore uses the mega tapestry. These ones are little. You can call them little waffles versus big waffles. And it has pink tone counters. These are these counters right here, the index markers, with pink gold tone external zone and a pink gold applied hour markers with luminescent coating. And you can see these subdials here are also in pink gold. Now, I'm not sure why they call it pink. Sounds a little bit feminine. Maybe they could have called it like rose, which I guess also sounds a bit feminine. Maybe you could have called it bronze. Who knows? Anyways, that's the nomenclature they went with. What I'm showing you now is what the watch would look like at night, because these hands and hour markers luminesce, as I said earlier. They have a luminescent coating, and this is what it would look like at night. Not bad. Actually, it's very, very readable. Okay? All right, so let's move on to the bracelet here. Now I guess since we're talking about the case, I want to bring your attention to some things. I've talked about this before, so I'm kind of rehashing what I'm talking about in the Royal Oaks. You know, is the finish. The finish is absolutely amazing. It's probably one of the best, if not the best finish I've ever seen. And I've seen over 10,000 watches. They have brush finish right here, and then on the bezel it actually is gasket, brushed, and then high polished. And then on the actual screws, those are high polished hexagonal white gold screws. And if you notice, it's actually a high polished line down that strip, and it continues down the side of the bracelet. I'm going to try to show you that here. Okay? And it goes down the side. Alright? And the top of it is actually a brushed finish. And it actually, if you look even more carefully, look in between these little two things right here, those things that are holding the bracelet together, those are actually high polished in between. I can only imagine what would happen if you had to polish this watch. You definitely have to send it back to get AP to polish it if you wanted it exactly like a factory finish. I mean, I definitely would not polish it here, and I'm not sure anyone else could unless you're actually AP. And if you look again here at the hour markers, if you notice the crown, part of it is brushed, part of it is polished. You know, it says AP, the sign, and that's just perfectly done. I mean, it's just amazing. I mean, looking at this thing, I mean, I'm just getting horny practically just looking at it, you know. Okay, all right, so let's move on here. Let's talk about the mechanism. All right, now this mechanism is a 2385 movement. Okay, now that might not mean very much to you, but basically AP uses two kind of movements, at least as I'm aware. They use this small 2385 movement, which is a chronograph, and it's thinner than its big brother, the 3126, I believe that is, or whatever. What do they use on the offshore? It starts with a 3, and it's much fatter. And it's much wider too. This one's 26.2 millimeters. I think the 3000 series one is something like 30 millimeters or more, and it's also thicker. This one being a lot thinner. And that's why it gives you this 11 millimeter height as opposed to 14 millimeter height. It has 337 joules, 304 parts, 40 hours power reserve, blah, 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 blah. But you can't see it. So that's the thing. So you might be asking, hey, Ken, can you get a chronograph that you can see the back? The answer is no, at least not as of now. Why? I don't know. So, okay. Now, let's look at the case back. Now, check this out. You see these little parts right there next to the R my finger's pointing to? Those are actually hallmarks. Gold hallmarks. And if you look at right there and there, it's kind of hard to see, but those are also hallmarks. Alright? Hallmarks of gold hallmarks, that is. Okay? Now, what else can you see here? On the buckle, you see this where my thumb is pointing to? Those on each four corners are also, again, hallmarks. Gold hallmarks, distinguishing that this is a gold piece and therefore should have gold hallmarks. Pretty nice touch, actually, if you ask me. Okay, now we've talked about the thickness, talked about the dial, talked about the bracelet, we talked about the case. Oh man, it seems like we talked about everything. Okay, here are my thoughts. Basically, I'm in love with this watch. If this was a woman, I don't know what I'd do to her, because this thing looks badass. And I said at the beginning I would make a case for 38 millimeter. Now I'm an average man with above average intelligence, and I have an average wrist size. And now I don't like, I actually tried on the 34, not the 34, the 41, and you know what? It looked like I was wearing my dad's watch. It just looked too massive on me. And you know, I didn't like that. So I thought, you know what? It would be great if they made a smaller watch. And they made this watch 38 for exactly those people who have average wrist. My wrist is about 7.5, 7.4, something like that. I don't know. I have an average man's wrist. And I think most of us watching this video probably have a wrist about the same size as me. So when I tried the 34 on, it didn't make, sorry, the 41, it didn't make sense. And I'll tell you why. You know, having had thousands of watch pass through my hands, what I've noticed is this. I like it when my watch, you can see dial and bracelet. Not only dial, okay, and not only bracelet. That means that the watch has to be proportional. You want to have part of the dial where you can see here, and then you want to see part of the bracelet. Why? Because that actually makes your wrist look bigger. You know, you don't want to have it all dial. If it looks all dial, then your wrist is going to look small, and then you're going to look small. You don't want that. So you actually want it to you know, you want it to look proportional on your wrist. You know, people think bigger is better. Well, is a tax bill that's bigger better? Are bigger shoes better? Is a bigger car better? No, of course not. Is a bigger backpack better? Is a bigger laptop better? Of course not, right? So things need to be in proportion to what you use and what you expect. So in my opinion, you know, this 38 really hits the nail right on the head. And actually, it's also a bit cheaper. So people are all going for this massive 41, and I actually tried it on, and I was one of them. I tried it on, I wore it for a little bit, and I was just like, you know what? This thing just does not look like it fits me. I think I'd rather go with the 38. So anyways, that's my take on it. This 38 millimeter is going to be the next hottest gold watch, because people are going to finally come to their senses and realize that, you know, 41 is too big for them, and AP wears a little bit big anyways. Because by the way, I forgot to show you. You see how it comes like a slope right here? Well, that's not changeable. That slope, okay, is made because AP actually designed their watch so that the head would be a little bit small and that the bracelet would slope so that you could see the edge of the bracelet. You see, when you look at flat on, you can still see the bracelet, right? And you see the top of it and the bottom of it. That means that's because they sloped this edge. They did that on purpose. They even put a high polish there to show you that that's how they want you to wear the watch. I mean, they couldn't get much more obvious than that. So if you wear it with all head and you can't see any of the bracelet, that's not actually how it's meant to be worn by AP anyways. That makes sense? So my opinion, this is a badass watch, and you know, for a retail price of $52,700, at least as of 2020, it's actually quite a bargain. I mean, you know, we're talking watches here. I know $50,000 a lot of money to spend on a watch, but we're talking watches here. So if you're looking at this watch, you probably can afford it. You probably drive a really nice car, and you can afford $50,000 plus for this watch. I would strongly consider that. If you compare it to its, you know, other competitors, you know, who else provides such a kick-ass watch at this price point? Nobody. Not Patek, not Rolex, nobody. I think AP stands alone here at this price point and for this watch. So I'm a real fan of it. If you want to buy this watch, by the way, please go to jazztime.com, JAZTIME.com. That's why I'm making this video at 9 p.m. on Monday while you're sitting at home watching YouTube, deciding if you want to buy it. So please support us and buy this watch and keep us in business so I can keep bringing you these amazing YouTube videos. Thanks so much for watching.
If you want to find out more about the watch you just saw in the video, you can just click below on Show More to see the full description. Then you can check the link next to model as seen in video, click on it, and you will get to the proper page where you can see all the details. If you're watching on a mobile phone, you have to click on the arrow down on the right hand side below the video to see the full description. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you would like to share this video with your friends, you can use the share button below and share it on any platform you like. If you have questions, constructive feedback, want to tell us about some mistakes or misspeaks, just write a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, you should subscribe to our channel and visit our channel page where you can find all the videos. And if you're interested in a specific watch brand, you can check out our playlists. If you want to check the price for a watch or want to buy one, remember at jazztime.com you always get a steep discount, so you should check the prices with us. If you want to know the price for a specific watch, just go to Google, type in jazz time, plus the brand, model, and the details you're interested in, and Google will find the right page for you. Thank you for watching.